Pequeñas de tren. Te conocí y allí mismo empecé a vivir sin preocupaciones.
All right, Pancho, start bringing it down. All right, we're coming into you in 5, 4, 3, 2, and... Come on.
We're going to have DJ Pancho Quiñones. He's going to play salsa, cumbia, música alternativa, and so much more music. So we are so happy you could join us. We're going to have information about the census and also in the African American Complete Count Committee. And we also have support of the Albuquerque Latin Dance Festival. So our goal for this night is to make sure people in the International District and hard to count people in New Mexico get counted in the 2020 census. So throughout the night, you can be calling this number, 505-715-32, online at my2020census.gov. Let's start with the video that explains what the census is, and then right after, you're going to have your great music by DJ Pancho Quiñones.
What is the 2020 census? Every 10 years, the census records everyone living in this country. It's written in the Constitution and comes in a questionnaire that counts everyone who lives at your address on April 1st. The data can be used to inform funding for services like fire stations, schools, clinics, and representation that affect your community.
How will 2020 census data be used? Where there are more people, there are more needs for public services. That's why the census is used by the government to inform funding decisions each year. But that's not all. It's also used by nonprofits to inform services, by businesses to create jobs, and even by students for school projects. Understanding how the population changes helps us shape communities across the country for the better.
How does the 2020 census affect representation? There are 400
By law, it can't be shared with any other government agency, law enforcement, or landlord. No one. So take your 2020 census with peace of mind. Shape your future. Start here. Visit 2020census.gov.
Coming back. And we're back.
Confidentiality. We know that that's important for you. Oh, by the way, my name is Beatriz Valencia. Salseros y salseras, cumbieros y cumbieras, welcome. Let's go and see this video for you. Familia, vamos a ver este video acerca de la confidencialidad. Perdón, acerca de censo en español. Muchas gracias.
Okay, I'm gonna get into the answer.
Esta cumbia es muy triste, no hay gusto, que te fuiste en mi vida, solo hay oscuridad.
Y nada de cariño, el calor que yo sentía se perdió en la caída, el sol no brilla entre tú y yo. ¿Qué voy a hacer? Llorar, 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 como un loco, delira sobre un río sin cesar. Volar, 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 como un ave sobre el mar. Así llegan mis lamentos. Esta cumbia es mi llanto. La llena no da consuelo, pienso en ti, en mis desvelos esta amargura desaparecerá. Adiós al ayer, llorar, 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 como un loco, delirar y perder poco a poco las hojas sobre un río sin cesar. Volar, 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 como un ave sobre el mar. Así llegan mis lamentos hacia ti. ¿Qué voy a hacer?
Okay, I'm gonna come to the slide.
Noche sin placer, ¿qué voy a hacer? Si me falta tu querer, ¿qué voy a hacer? Con recuerdos del ayer, ¿qué voy a hacer? Con esas alas de papel.
Wait, let the camera.
Sexy, mira cómo se menea, qué linda que esté sangria, qué rico ese movimiento, me deja ya sin aliento. Cuando mis ojos te ven bailando, hay algo que siento adentro, te miro, me miras caderas, tu cuerpo se mueve bella, es algo muy sugestivo, si te miras del ombligo, te toco, me tocas caderas, tu pelo se mueve, cumbianchera. Pero no sientes lo que yo siento, te beso, me besas caderas, tus labios se mueven, China, tú bailas con mucho cumbianchera. Sí, mira cómo se menea, qué linda que esté esa nena, caderas de sirena. Sigue como le canta la cumbia, qué rico ese movimiento, me deja ya sin aliento. Obvio, le gusta la atención, aquí no hay confusión, te gusto como un niño, me encantan tus duras caderas, trasero se mueve, cumbianchera.
Yo lo que quiero es un burrito. 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 Un burrito que me lleve lejos, que me lleve. Yo lo que quiero es un avioncito que me huele lejos, que me huele. No te preocupes, sigue tu camino y deja que te lleve el destino. Si tú sientes que no puedes respirar, es que algo bueno está por pasar. No te preocupes si sientes un vacío y a veces hasta te crees perdido. Si tú sabes lo que quieres alcanzar, no hay nada que te pueda parar. Llévame, a donde vayas contigo. Llévame, que no quiero regresar. Llévame, a donde nace el olvido. Llévame, que no quiero recordar. Yo lo que quiero es un burrito que me lleve lejos, que me lleve. Yo lo que quiero es un avioncito que me huele lejos, que me huele. No desconfíes de tu corazón, no dudes, tienes la razón. Sé que nada te va a pasar, recuerda que tú sabes la verdad. Si aparezco en uno de tus sueños, recíbeme, no tengas miedo. Si no entiendes cuando canto Yoruba, no temas de déjate llevar. A donde vayas contigo, llévame, que no quiero regresar. Llévame, que no quiero recordar. Yo no sé lo que me pasa, hasta se me olvides que te quise, nuestro amor nunca termina. Desde el día en que te fuiste, ya no hay rosas, solo espinas. Yo no sé quién es más fuerte.
And dance, we encourage you to keep dancing, show us your moves, and share it on Facebook, okay? Now is the time for the first interview of the night, Miss Beverly Jordan.
Hello, my name is Beverly Jordan, and I'm with the Office of African American Affairs. As co-chair for the African American Complete Count Committee, I would like to welcome you today to the Latin Dance Census Party 2020. African American households are at risk of being undercounted. The African American population has been historically undercounted in the decennial census, disadvantaging their families, communities, and neighborhoods. In fact, the 2010 census showed that African Americans were undercounted by more than 800,000. Approximately 7% of young African American children were overlooked by the 2010 census. African American men have been historically undercounted in greater numbers than any men of other racial or ethnic groups. The 2020 census is an opportunity to create a better future for communities and for the next generation by providing an up-to-date count of our population. The data collected will help determine how over $675 billion in federal funding is distributed each year for things like housing, education, schools, hospitals, infrastructure, and public transportation. Make your voice count for your community. Complete the 2020 census.
Dale.
Hello, everyone. My name is Beatriz Valencia, and today we have an amazing video in Spanish just for you. Queridas familias, les tenemos un video en español solo para ustedes relacionado con el censo. And after that, after the video, we are going to have an amazing interview with Jessica Montoya from the Albuquerque Latin Dance. Y después del video, vamos a tener una entrevista con Jessica Montoya del Albuquerque Latin Dance. Muchas gracias.
El censo cuenta a todos los que vivimos en este país, incluyendo aquellos que no pensarías que también cuentan. Una persona en el hospital, sí, cuenta. Miguelito que acaba de nacer, sí, Miguelito ya cuenta. Los García y los Álvarez que comparten la misma casa, sí, todos cuentan. El primo Luis que acaba de llegar al país y está viviendo en el garaje de Pedro, también cuenta. El censo cuenta a todos para que a todos nos vaya mejor.
Hi, my name is Jessica Montoya, and I am here on behalf of the Albuquerque Latin Dance Festival. I'm here to talk about the census and why it is so important to be counted. Now, I know that in many of our communities, we don't really understand what the purpose is of the census, but it really determines the amount of funding that our communities get. So be counted, it's important. I want to welcome you on behalf of the Albuquerque Latin Dance Festival for all mi gente in the salsa community to the Latin Dance Census Party happening right now. So this is our opportunity to get out and dance, to have some fun. I know that we have given up so many freedoms, so many of our opportunities to go and dance together. And right now, in a time of a pandemic where we really need to come together, this is a perfect opportunity to get together and support each other for this Latin virtual dance party. We have some amazing musicians, DJs on here supporting each other. So come on out, dance with us virtually, and support the census. Be counted. It's important. The funding from the census comes from the government, dependent on the amount of people in our state. So get on out there, be counted. It happens every 10 years. The funding goes to schools, goes to our public servants. It's really important. But let's have some fun. Let's dance together. And I'm going to kick it back to one of my favorite DJs in our community, Pancho Quiñones, to get the party started.
Suena el tambor ensemillado de la música africana. Suena el tambor ensemillado de la música africana. El ritmo de La Habana se pone al instante en pie. Y cuando entran al Morúa, el público se emociona. Porque el ritmo se entona al compás de la bacua. Porque el ritmo se entona al compás de la bacua. Candela la traigo millao, porque ñañigos somos para bailar apretao. Tan buen semillao, banco son, tan buen semillao. Si tú creías que la rumba no te la traía, tú estás bien equivocado. Tan buen semillao, banco son, tan buen semillao. Porque te traigo rumba al sonido del tambor que te lo toco picao. Tan buen
4, 3, 2.
Pancho, por esa gran música. Mi gente, si no han llenado todavía el censo, aquí están los números y puedes llenar el censo ahorita mismo llamando a estos números, okay? So, for our second interview, we have Michelle Curtis, Cindy Charlie, and
Yat she Michelle Tachitni de Chanelle, Akut Ego Dine Astan Nishle. Hello everyone, my name is Michelle Curtis. I am the lead case manager for First Nations Community Health Source.
Hello everyone, my name is Cindy Charlie. I'm a case manager here at First Nations Community Health Source.
Hi, my name is Stephanie Keys. I'm a case manager here at First Nations Community Health Source.
First Nations Community Health Source is a health clinic that provides a culturally competent, comprehensive health services delivery system, integrating traditional values to enhance the physical, spiritual, emotional, and mental well-being of American Indian families and other underserved populations residing in Albuquerque and surrounding areas.
We are proud to support the 2020 census count of our community members, especially our homeless population. We believe it's extremely important that everyone is counted so we may have greater access to medical care, behavioral health services, dental care, affordable housing, and better health coverage and better schools.
We encourage everyone that hasn't responded to the 2020 census survey to respond as soon as you can.
Thank you, Pancho. That music was electrifying. Well, now we want to see the next video. It is about a confidentiality related with the census. Are you ready? But first, I want to thank very much Casa Feliz that has been our host today for this amazing event. Plus, Mr. David Poole that has been so welcoming with all our team. Let's go and see that video. Thank you.
The federal law prohibits the Census Bureau from sharing your census form or the information on it. There are two key ways that the law sets out very clear and strong limits on how your information can be used. Individual responses cannot be shared with the public, other federal agencies, or state and local governments. This means that immigration authorities and law enforcement are not allowed to see your census response. Your census response cannot be used against you. It can only be used in the context of anonymous, general statistics. Your response cannot be used as evidence in legal or administrative proceedings, such as immigration proceedings or a court case. Your census response is protected. It cannot be used against you. So why does the government collect census data? Census responses are used to perform statistical analysis about the United States population to give us valuable information about ourselves as a country. The Census Bureau will only release statistics about the population as a whole. They will not release information on individual people or individual households. As you've heard, your census response is safe and protected. These confidentiality protections are written in federal law. This law cannot be changed by the Trump administration. These protections have been in place for decades, and Census Bureau staff take them very, very seriously. So join your family, friends, and community in participating in the census. Your participation helps ensure that your community gets its fair share of funding for services and benefits and its fair share of political representation.
Please welcome Yvonne Ulibarri.
Hi, everybody. Welcome. I'm happy to be here. Some of you may know me. My name is Iván Ulibarri. I am the leader of the salsa band Cafe Mocha, and I'm also a school teacher. So I know some of us through different venues, but I'm here today to talk to you about the importance of the census and the importance of filling it out. If you haven't done that yet, I want you to do that as soon as you can. It's important that we do this. The funding matters more now than ever because of this virus that we're dealing with. When this is all over, we're going to need funds to help us get back on track. And if you haven't done it, you can go to mycensus2020.gov, or you can do it by phone or by mail, but do it soon. Please don't let it go by the wayside. I also want to reach out to all the artists and dancers and encourage us to please take this serious and do fill out the census. Everybody matters. Everything counts. Do remember to wear your mask and practice social distancing. And keep in mind that the sooner we get through this, the better. We want to be healthy. This will help us get through it quicker by wearing our masks and practicing social distance. And, the goal is to keep on going. And so I want to encourage everybody to do that. I want to send it back to Pancho Quiñones, one of our best DJs here in town. He's very well-versed in all styles of music, but particularly in the Latin music scene. And so, Pancho, take it away. Thank you for doing this for us.
back. Big shout out to the African American Complete Count Committee and Alan Stone, our producer here, who's working super hard, okay? We're gonna show you guys another video. Some of you are probably wondering what it's like to take the census. So we're gonna have Tony Johnson interview, help you explain.
The 2020 census is really important, and what I wish everybody knew about the 2020 census is really how important this data collection is for our community.
The community actually looks up to the faith leaders in giving them information and being the voice and a trustworthy advocate for who they are.
There's no stronger thing we can do to build this country and to make it feel more safe for more people than to say, I am going to show my courageous leadership and be counted.
Everybody counts with God. So everybody ought to be counted in this census. John Maxwell says everything rises or falls on leadership. I say to you, let's lead.
This is Tony Johnson. I'm coming to you guests from where? The International District. I sit on the Parks and Recreation Commission, but I got a very, very important message for you today. As you look around in our community and we see how depleted some things are, it's a way that we, as a team, can make a difference. And that's by filling out your 2020 census forms. Now, these census forms, you could do them either 3 ways. You could do them by mail, telephone, or by internet. And they come in 54 different languages. So there's no reason why you should not do this. So I need you to go ahead and complete yours. If you already did, go ahead and let your neighbors know, let somebody walking down the street, in the shopping mall, I don't care where you're at, to ask somebody, are they doing their 2020 census? And just to let you know what the census are for, the census is billions of dollars that the government issues. And we need this to help bring clinics and hospitals, stores, businesses, better schools, libraries, road repair, all this good stuff right there. We could get this if you act right by filling out your 2020 census form. So let's get on the ball.
Thank you, Mr. Tony Johnson. Your words are very inspirational for our community. Now, we want to say thank you as well for our very own U.S. Census Partnership Specialist in New Mexico. Let's go and start with the regional manager, Pauline Nunez. Our specialist, partnership specialist, Mercy Alarit, Melissa Velasquez, Juan Barajas, and of course, Luis Head. Thank you. Now we are gonna go back to Pancho. Pancho, give us some reggaeton. Thank you.
Despedidas y reencuentros, grandes aeropuertos y estaciones pequeñas firmando que todo está bien. Pero hoy que nos volvemos a encontrar, yo me pregunto si habrá algo más grande que ustedes en el mundo. ¿Será verdad? ¿Será que esto es un sueño hecho realidad?
cantos falsedades, grandes vanidades que distraen la pura verdad. Consecuencias de la gente indiferente y fría que se funde entre el vidrio y metal. Pero hoy que nos volvemos a encontrar, yo me pregunto si habrá algo más grande que ustedes en el mundo. ¿Será verdad? ¿Será que esto es un sueño hecho realidad?
De vuelta a casa.
La familia es lo más grande de esta vida, y a pesar de mi partida, sé que pronto te veré.
Qué difícil es decir adiós cuando el alma está en quebranto, cuando el corazón está en llanto y se quiere tanto. Como lo aguanto, Dios santo, escucha mi canto y ampárame.
La familia es lo más grande de esta vida, y a pesar de mi partida, sé que pronto te veré.
Pero escúchame bien, la familia es la familia, da alegría y da problemas. Pero yo no vine a hablar de eso, ahora lo que quiero es fiesta. Mi abuelo y los sobrinos,
ahí nada más.
yo traigo carne pues con chicharrones guaguancó, y ahora que pone tu bongo.
Llegó mi familia y la fiesta ya va a
de
empezar.
bobería, que ha llegado mis primos, mis hijos. Oye, como dice el coro, los niños están jugando en el patio de adelante, la abuela cocinando en el patio de atrás. ¿Qué va?
Llegó mi
Agarro con gandules,
familia y la
muchachos.
fiesta ya
Fríole,
va a
papito.
empezar.
Pero que la fiesta ya va a empezar, vete pa' que no te
Estaban en Puerto Rico.
que bola con el bendito.
Llegó mi familia y la fiesta ya va a empezar. Fiesta ya va a empezar.
No quiere y se mene en el cao, papá.
Llegó mi familia y la fiesta ya va a empezar.
Mi familia ya ha llegado, mamá.
La fiesta ya va a empezar.
¿Cómo?
Bueno, mi mamá también me dijo que amara la vida. Por eso yo la vivo. Cuando el amor toca tu puerta, no lo hagas esperar, porque la vida es un mar de la, así que no temas entregarte a la locura. Cuando la vida te so, recuerda que no siempre serás bella, la juventud es como una centella.
We want to say hello to Margarita and family.
Lo que has logrado.
And also we want to wish Karen Turner a very, very happy birthday. Yeah, we give shout outs here too. It's a party, y'all. Ajá.
Piensa que es muy corto el tiempo para malgastar. Tienes que vivir y amar.
Ama la vida,
Sí,
ama la vida.
ama la que se te
Porque
va.
la vida te da sorpresas, sorpresas te da la vida.
Ay, la vida es una caja de sorpresas, tiene espina, pero
Ama la vida,
y es muy bella.
la vida te da sorpresas, sorpresas.
am so proud to be part of the International District Complete Count Committee filled with great people. I want to introduce one of our lovely members, New Mexico House of Representatives, Debbie Serinara from District 21, who's going to be giving out an interview as well. Let's go.
Hello everyone, I am Representative Debbie Serinara. It was created in 1790 and it's part of the U.S. Constitution that says every person in the United States has to be counted. That means every person in every little city or big city, in our whole state and in our whole country. What it does is two big things. It gives Representative Deb Holland, Representative Sophie Torres Small, and Ben Ray Lujan. Second way it is used is to give our state federal funding, federal community better. And how we get that? We get that by being counted. Everyone in your family has to be counted. That means if grandma and grandpa live with you, they're counted. Your parents are counted. All your brothers and sisters are counted. Even if you have a little sister that was born yesterday, she needs to be counted too. Last year, New Mexico got $7.8 billion, and we get that for 10 years. So what we get with the census lasts us for 10 years to do everything we need. For every person that's not counted, we lose $3,745 every year. So it's really important that we get counted. We need an accurate count to get everything we need to make our community better. Thank you.
Hi everybody, welcome back. Salseros y salseras, cumbieros y cumbieras. Well, I want to speak thank you, a big thank you to ABC Community School Partnership, to all my fellows, Cook, and everybody else in the team. Thank you. And also, he's watching from what next. We are gonna receive an amazing interview with Tu Xiao. It's gonna be in Vietnamese with subtitles in the state of New Mexico, helping the families to be the best that they can be. Thank you.
Ese gritarito roto,
Xiomara.
yo sentí como crujía. Antes de caerse al suelo, ya sabía que se rompía. Está parpadeando la luz del descansillo. Una voz de la escalera, alguien cruzando el pasillo. Malamente, sí, sí, malamente. Mira, malamente. Cuanto más quiero cruzarlo, va, más se mueve y tambalea. Malamente, así sí, malamente. Mira, malamente, que malamente. Y yo, malamente, malamente. Aunque no esté bonita, la noche un nivel. Ya salí para la calle, la manita, los aros brillando, mi piel oscura. Ni un minuto en volver a pensarte. Malamente, así sí, malamente. Mira, malamente, que malamente. Y yo, malamente, y yo, malamente, que malamente. Y yo, malamente, que malamente. Y yo, malamente, malamente.
Thưa Châu, hiện Lan Đà, điều phối viên gia đình tại Trung tâm Gia đình Á Châu và chương trình phù hợp với văn hóa tạo ra một cộng đồng Á Châu bên Nhật và hỗ trợ cho chính tổ chức của mình. Trung tâm Gia đình Á Châu là một tổ chức cộng đồng bắt nguồn từ các hoạt động xã hội. Chúng tôi tập trung vào các chương trình như chống phân biệt chủng tộc, các chương trình ngăn chặn, chương trình kết nối dân sự, là nơi cho các giới trẻ và gia đình phát triển sự lãnh đạo. Đồng thời chúng tôi cũng cung cấp các chương trình để các hoạt động yoga và thiền. Cốt lõi công việc của chúng tôi là đưa ra các dịch vụ trực tiếp để giúp các nạn nhân về bạo hành, các gia đình, các cá nhân có thu nhập thấp, đồng thời những người lớn tuổi và những người có khả năng nói tiếng Anh hạn chế. Thông qua các chương trình, chúng tôi muốn đảm bảo rằng nhóm dân số này được sự giúp đỡ khi họ cần, tiếng nói của họ được lắng nghe và đặc biệt là họ được tính trong thống kê dân số năm 2020. Chỉ cần dưới 1% số người trong nhóm châu Á-Thái Bình Dương bị đếm thiếu, có nghĩa là chúng ta sẽ mất đi khoảng 11 triệu đô trong vòng 10 năm tiếp theo. Khi chúng ta được đếm đủ trong thống kê dân số, có nghĩa là chúng ta sẽ nhận được các nguồn quỹ quan trọng cho trường học, bệnh viện, chăm sóc sức khỏe và các chương trình hỗ trợ thực phẩm cho cộng đồng của chúng ta. Dữ liệu từ cuộc thống kê dân số cũng sẽ được sử dụng để phân chia đại diện chính trị tại tiểu bang, trong quốc hội, trong các thành phố và tất cả các thị trấn trên cả nước. Con số này sẽ có nghĩa là chúng ta sẽ có một sự đại diện công bằng cho cộng đồng châu Á-Thái Bình Dương. Tất cả chúng ta cần phải được tính để loại bỏ quan niệm rằng chỉ có 3 nhóm chủng tộc chính tại New Mexico. Cộng đồng người da đen và cộng đồng người châu Á-Thái Bình Dương thường bị bỏ qua trong các cuộc hội thoại quan trọng mang tính quyết định. Vì vậy, chúng ta là những người đóng góp chính cho lịch sử, văn hóa và kinh tế tại tiểu bang.
Cuando te he tenido cerca, cuando te he pensado un poco, la vida resulta otra. Yo me pongo loco, loco, canto, pa' no sentirme triste, bailo, pa' no sentirme solo. Desde que tú me sonreíste, el mundo resulta otro.
Cuando te he tenido cerca, cuando te he pensado un poco, la vida resulta otra. Yo me pongo loco, loco, canto, pa' no sentirme triste, bailo, pa' no sentirme triste, bailo, pa' no sentirme solo. Desde que tú me sonreíste, el mundo me resulta otro. Cuando te he tenido cerca, cuando te he pensado un poco, la vida resulta otra. Yo me pongo loco, loco, canto, pa' no sentirme triste, bailo, pa' no sentirme solo. Desde que tú me sonreíste, el mundo resulta otro.
Siento que la vida se me va, si a mi lado tú no estás. Lucharé por conquistarte un poco y que mi mundo resulta otro.
Cuando te he tenido cerca, cuando te he pensado un poco, la vida resulta otra. Yo me pongo loco, loco, canto,
Pa' no sentirme triste, bailo, pa' no sentirme solo. Desde que tú me sonreíste, el mundo resulta otro.
Camínalo, que tú me tienes mal, tú me tienes mal, tú me tienes loco. Soy distinto, yo soy otro. Te tengo que confesar, cuando salgo a caminar, voy sonriendo y hablando solo. Una rumba, una alegría. Tú me diste la luz, y me diste calor, Tú llenaste el vacío que
Beso en la boca que ahora la rumba se pone mejor. Hace rato te estoy viendo que no me sacan los ojos de encima. Hace rato siento cargas en el cuerpo que no me dejan vivir. Si yo como con mi cuchara y solito he luchado mi plato, no me sirven esas tallas raras. Sal de mi cuerpo, chamaco, voy a elevarte, voy a ponerte un vaso de agua. A mí todo me va bien y que bofi, que anda.
en las restricciones. Solo calcula la información de las canciones. A que se tire yo dudo que le funcione. Mira cómo te rimé, te lo mastiqué. ¿Para qué razones?
Tú tienes que tener agua,
Tienes que tener
tienes que esperar que yo baje.
ahí nada más, vamos.
Tienes que tener agua,
Eso. Ahí nada más.
tienes que esperar que yo baje. Mira lo que traigo para ti, vaya pa' que coja talla. Y ese hijo de Teresa, el gallo vuelve a la valla. Pero esta vez con los cuatro, pa' que camines un cachoncilla. Llegué, estoy aquí, pa' que se recojan los payasos.
Pollo por la cara. Eso.
Dale pa' casa de tu padrino, pasa tu pollo por la cara.
Esto es fiesta.
Dale pa' casa de tu padrino, pasa tu pollo por la cara.
Pollo por la cara.
Dale pa' casa de tu padrino, pasa tu pollo por la cara.
Mira. Un pasito por una valla lo soñé y nunca me hizo caso. Ay, yo de cabezón. Déjame, querida.
Que me tire, le voy a tirar.
Dale para allá, veo.
Voy a calentar,
Yo voy a calentar.
voy a calentar.
Yo lo que apunte con la mano para arriba. Mano para arriba, Cuba. Esto es fiesta. Dale para allá.
Que se ponga, me voy a mover. Que me tire, le voy a
Le voy
tirar.
a cantar para atrás.
Voy a calentar.
Y no confundas el refresco. Ay, con la limonada. Échale para allá.
Que me tire, le voy a tirar.
Eso.
El hijo de Teresa en la casa, pero esta vez con los cuatro. ¿Tú sabes quién soy yo? El guaguancó.
Oye, eso es lo que te estresa. Que el sonido de estos locos. Ay, para que se ponga empieza. Vamos. Ay, dale para allá.
Que se ponga, me voy a mover.
Venga, arriba.
Que me tire, le voy a
Ay,
tirar.
tú no suena.
Voy a calentar.
Con todo fiera, papá. Échate para allá.
Que se ponga, me voy a mover.
Venga, arriba.
Que me tire, le voy a tirar. Voy a calentar.
Dame un break, tranquilo, te voy para la corona del rey. Ja, ¿sabes qué es lo que pasa? Te creíste la dueña de la estrella, pero que la vida es loca, bonita, pasaste de princesa plebeya.
No sé cómo explicarte que se terminó, que ya ha pasado mucho tiempo y que el amor murió. Ya no me marques más, que no soy un reloj. No sigas estresándote, ahí la vida es un rompecabezas y tiene su tumba. Debes de comprender que si te doy de lado, tú me conoces bien, yo estoy enamorado. No sigas molestándome, y ella ahora me dice que me voy con cualquiera. Ella lo que tiene es dolor, chiquita, que ya no eres primera. Ella lo que tiene es dolor, ¿qué culpa tengo yo si ya no está en la escena? Ella lo que tiene es dolor, pasaste de princesa plebeya. Ella lo que tiene es dolor, y esa cosita como duele y duele. Ella lo que tiene es dolor, y esa cosita como duele y duele. Ella lo que tiene es dolor, y esa cosita como duele y duele. Ella lo que tiene es dolor, y esa cosita como duele y duele. Ella lo que tiene es dolor.
Resulta que yo tengo defectos que no había encontrado. Ahora soy malo porque estoy enamorado. Y hace un tiempito yo era el mejor. Mami, y ahora resulta que yo físicamente ya no soy el de antes. Que a mí me salva que soy el cantante que sale siempre en la televisión. Y chiquitita, por favor, cambia el tema. Ella lo que tiene es dolor. Ay, por favor, mucha relajo verás. Ella lo que tiene es dolor, pasaste de princesa plebeya. Ella lo que tiene es dolor, la niña era bonita y ahora tiene ojeras. Ella lo que tiene es dolor,
Esa cosita como duele y duele.
ella lo que tiene es dolor,
Esa cosita como duele y duele.
ella lo que tiene es dolor,
Esa cosita como duele y duele.
ella lo que tiene es dolor,
Esa cosita como duele y duele.
ella lo que tiene es dolor.
A mi casa se te nota que lo que tiene es dolor, pero ¿qué le vamos a
sexy, ya se acabó la amor. En este film me toca ser la estrella y tú pasaste de princesa plebeya. Se cambiaron los papeles, a mí no me engaña, yo sé que te duele y te duele. Confórmate con lo que hay, baby Lore y el bicho ya la tú sabes.
Ella lo que tiene es dolor, esa cosita como duele y duele. Ella lo que tiene es dolor, esa cosita como duele y duele. Ella lo que tiene es dolor, esa cosita como duele y duele. Ella lo que tiene es dolor, esa cosita como duele y duele. Ella le duele, ella le duele. Ella lo que tiene es dolor, esa cosita como duele y duele. Ella lo que tiene es dolor, esa cosita como duele y duele. Ella lo que tiene es dolor, esa cosita como duele y duele. Ella lo que tiene es dolor. Llegaron los metales.
Every 10 years, the U.S. Census Bureau counts everyone living in the United States. People like Mr. Lee. It doesn't matter whether they are students, service members, renters, employees, have green cards, work visas, are undocumented, have lived here a long time, or moved here recently or temporarily. Regardless of their age, height, income, or ethnicities, they all count. Over the last 20 years, AAPIs have been the fastest growing group among the overall U.S. population. However, together, we still only make up about 7% of the total U.S. population. So missing a few counts is a big deal. It affects families and communities a lot more than you might think. If we are not accurately reflected in the census data, our communities won't get what they need when it comes to government representation and public funding. Maybe we won't get that community health center we've always been talking about. Or maybe our students will get less financial aid for their education. Or maybe we end up losing a seat in Congress that represents our own communities. By participating in the census, we won't be left out. We can define our own speak stories that are a part of this great nation. We need to be counted, recognized as a community to have our say in how over $1.5 trillion a year in public funding is distributed for hospitals, schools, and roads for the next generation and beyond. Starting April 1st, it's time to do your part. Fill out the census.
We Dreamers, immigrants, and refugees also support the census and have been working to get people counted. Remember, you can call this number right now and do the census. But for now, we're going to have Mama Kazi's interview.
My name is Immigrant and Refugee Resource Village of Albuquerque. I am here today to let you know why completing the census is very important. We have a lot of people here that depend on Medicaid, food stamps, and the social welfare programs. That money goes back to the community. And so we have childcare programming, we have early childhood, so if we do not complete the census, we will not get the funds to take care of our children. I implore and ask you to please take a moment, complete the census, knowing that our roads, our hospitals, and our education depends on it. The community that participates at this center, they are refugees, immigrants, asylees, and low income. And so they depend on the money. Most of the time they are not counted, but we're making sure that this year they are counted. And they also know that for each person that gets counted, that's $5,000 that comes to New Mexico. So please complete the census today.
Thank you, Mama Cassie, for those words. Now we're gonna watch a beautiful video from Vision Sanofa. It's in Swahili and in other languages that belongs to our families that are refugees. But don't forget also that we also want to thank many other people in the community. Let's go and say thank you to Pamela Herton from the Census Collaborative and the African American Complete Count Committee as well. Please also thank you for producing the event as well. Without forgetting Miss Beverly Jordan, who has been always here with us, supporting us in more ways than once. So let's go watch that video.
Jambo, kwa majina naitwa Byamungu Fadhili. Nimetokea DRC Congo. Nitakuwa mkufunzi wako kwa lugha ya Kiswahili.
Bite, izina nitwa Palaso, nkaba mu gihugu cya Uganda. Uyu munsi ndaba umuvugizi wa rurimi rw'Ikinyarwanda. Niko turi hano kubabwira umumaro w'ibarura ry'ibihumbi 2020 ku mpunzi zose z'Abanyafrika hano mu gihugu cya Amerika. Kwibaruza kwanyu bituma tubona inzu nk'izi ziciriritse.
Kuorozeshwa kwako kunarahisisha bei nafuu za manyumba. Elimu,
ubumenyi,
matibabu,
ubuvuzi,
kwa usalama ya jamii yetu,
umutekano wa karitie yacu,
ajira,
ubuzi,
vifaa vya burudani,
imyanya yo kwishimisha.
Ajawa nyuma au kujisajili. Unaweza kujisajili mtandaoni kupitia kompyuta au laptop yako. Vile vile unaweza kula barua.
Ntabwo urakererwa kujya kwibaruza. Ushobora kwibaruza unyuze ku murongo ugakoresha computer yawe cyangwa se laptop ndetse na telefone yawe. Ushobora kwibaruza ukoresheje ikete byo bakohereza mu gasanduku k'amakete.
Hivyo umejisajili wewe?
Bwana, tayari.
Hivyo basi usikose kujisajili.
Remember, mi gente, there's still time to fill out your census, so make sure you are calling that number and filling out your census. Right next, we have interview from Deb Holland. She is the U.S. House Representatives representing District 1. So let's watch her video. She's making sure that everybody in the state gets counted. You should too, okay? Let's watch her video.
Hi everyone. As you know, it's a census year this year, 2020, and our state relies on the information it gets from the census to make sure that we have everything we need in terms of schools and hospitals and playgrounds for our kids and all of the services that we know are so important to the people of our communities. And look, it's a time when we're spending a lot of time at home, and just wanted you to know that I got my census letter in the mail. It just comes just like that. When I go into my computer, I will click on it, my2020census.gov. I can click on that start questionnaire and make sure that I put in my census ID number and start working on my census, because I know that it's important to complete the census, because my state, your community will rely on the information that you provide. So when you get your letter, go to your computer, go to my2020census.gov, and fill out your form. It's that easy. Thanks.
Voy a vivir la vida loca, estoy haciendo otra canción. Una gota llenó la copa, ya no hay preocupación. Cuando disfrutas el momento, el cielo toma otro color. Un arco iris sentimiento para otro nuevo amor. El mundo tiene otro color. Tranquilo está mi corazón. Todo y nada. Tranquilo está mi corazón. Yo sé que un día entenderás. Tranquilo está mi corazón. Vive tu vida. Tranquilo está así. Cuélgate de mí. Déjate llevar. No. Paraíso. Subí, subí, volé, volé. Ya desconecté y estoy en modo avión. Ya desconecté, todo se acabó. Y ahora me la paso en otro vacilón. Subí, sin duda, sin cobertura. Subí, subí, volé, volé. Ya desconecté y estoy en modo avión. Quita, desconectado, buscando un ritmo en otro lado. Subí, subí, volé, volé. Ya desconecté y estoy en modo avión. Voy partiendo, voy bajando. Ahí te dejo con el mambo. Volando voy, volando vengo. Atención, atención. Pasajeros con destino a la isla Basilón. Ay, me quedé sin batería, se me fue la conexión. Ya desconecté y estoy en modo avión. Aquí no vive nadie, se murió la flor. Ya desconecté y estoy en modo avión. Esa es la capitán del vuelo. Estoy en modo avión. Ay, te lo digo yo. Ay, que te gusta a ti. Te lo digo yo.
Blackfoot, Navajo, Cree, Yakima, Aleut, Choctaw, Sioux, Pueblo, Inuit, Apache, Chippewa, Mohawk, Ojibwe, Cherokee, all American Indians, and Alaska Natives, we need an accurate count for the 2020 census because this data informs the funding of resources and programs in our communities. Your response will affect the next generation.
Here in the International District. And we want to give a big shout out to John Bolton from the East Central Ministries, who has been instrumental to be part of our team. We also want to say thank you to Kathy Sanchez from the International District Healthy Communities Coalition, IDACC, and many of our amazing members like Enrique Cardiel, Bernadette Hardy, Reina Luz Juarez, and many others. Please forgive me if I forget someone. Oh, I cannot forget Gigi. Gigi's watching. Thank you. Well, now let's go to the interview from Dr. Sara del Campo Gonzalez. Let's go and watch.
Hi, my name is Dr. Sara del Campo de Gonzalez, and I'm a pediatrician at University of New Mexico's Young Children's Health Center right here in the International District. Our clinic sees children from 0 to 18, but we also have other family support services like home visiting programs, youth support groups, parent groups, community forums, social work, therapy, all of that. We think it's important to serve not only the children, but also their families in any way that we can. It's important to fill out the census data and participate in the census this year because a lot of the programs and services that we bring right here to the International District depend on you and your family being counted. As a pediatrician and as a mama, I think it's really important for kids to be counted. They are not old enough to vote, so this is one way for kids to have a voice. Things like libraries and clinics, services like SNAP, and having enough representation in the Congress is really important for families to be put front and center. So places like libraries, just like the lot that we're standing on right here, can come to communities like ours when everybody is counted.
Today we have Dante Olivas from the New Mexico Transgender Research Center that is going to talk to us about the importance of being counted. Let's go check out his video.
Hi, my name is Dante and I work at the Transgender Research Center of New Mexico. Some of the issues that are facing transgender people today are homelessness. So we try to help out with that. Another factor that we help with is also harm reduction. We open those services up to the community on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. A large portion of our transgender community falls outside of government jurisdiction. A lot of our folks don't have access to change their name, to change their gender marker, some privilege that most folks don't even realize they have. The census has a big part of that. It allows folks that don't have matching documents to be able to identify themselves how they need to. It helps them get counted. It helps transgender people get counted in a lot of ways that they don't normally get counted. People often feel uncomfortable putting their legal documentation on anything because it doesn't match who they are. Having people fill out the census would mean that we have more opportunity to help people in our communities. It is the Transgender Resource Center of New Mexico, but we do primarily help people here in Albuquerque. More funding in Albuquerque means that we have more funding to help people find housing, try to eradicate homelessness within the trans community. Also try to educate people and let them know we do offer HIV testing. It's free, it's confidential, and it's fast, which are vital to the health and safety of our community. And that's what's important to me.
Okay, clock is ticking. Ready, go.
What do you feel when you see us?
Excited.
Oh.
Happy.
Oh. We're all in
A relationship.
True, but also what do you feel about Alex and your sleepy foster baby?
Love.
Yeah!
Our families are built on love, and we all count. Be you, be counted. Queer the census today.
Saludos. We want to give a nice shout out to Son Como Son, Calle 66, Baracutanga, Noi y sus Santos. That's who we started out tonight's music with, something brand new, Cumbia Triste.
We got a fat shout going out to Nosotros because Nosotros kicking it with a watch party right now. Thank you, guys.
Mira pa' allá. Keep the music playing.
Yes, thank you, Pancho, for the music. You know how to get the beat up. I want to say thank you from part of our team to APS Board of Education, Miss Barbara Peterson. Woo! Oh, yes, we have 2 birthdays in the house. What about my sister-in-law, Andrea? And also, not least, but very important to interview is going to be with Nanette Herrera. She has a wonderful information for you. Let's go and see the video.
Hello everybody, my name is Nanette Herrera. I work as a service coordinator at the Ed Romero Terrace. We are a Section 202 HUD housing for low-income seniors here in the International District, Albuquerque, New Mexico. So my role here is to provide programs and services so that my residents can age in place. We want them to stay out of the institution. Let me share some important information with you. Every 10 years, when they do the census, that information is gathered and aggregated and distributed to the lenders and to our government so they can allocate the funding to where it's needed. And right now, we have a huge housing shortage. If you know a senior and have a senior in your family or a neighbor and they haven't completed the census, please take a minute and help them do that. It is so critical. It's easy. You can go online and complete it in 60 seconds. The improved census system, it's user-friendly and so easy to do. Your input would be valuable to future generations and for causes such as housing and or other services that impact our seniors.
There will be parties again soon, and family gatherings. There will be parades, and sporting events, and concerts. To help our communities when they come back together, respond to the 2020 census now. Spend a few minutes online today to impact the next 10 years of healthcare, infrastructure, and education. Go to 2020census.gov and respond today to make America's tomorrow brighter. It's time to shape our future.
Youth is also getting involved in census work. We as young people must lead the future and make sure the next 10 years are counted for. So it is very important that you call the number and fill out your census for 2020. I would like to welcome the next interview, Mr. Mahdi Husseini, who will show us what the importance of the census is. Let's go see it.
Assalamu alaikum Khubasin. Hello, my name is Mahdi Husseini. I'm with Together for Brothers. It's a non-profit organization. Together for Brothers provides job opportunities for young men of color, and also Together for Brothers believes young men of color are, can, and should be leaders at all levels in their communities. If we had better routes or safer routes for people in the neighborhood, then that will be helping all the students or all the youths to participate in the after-school activities. Think about your children. Think about the youths in Albuquerque and also in the state of New Mexico. So if you can fill out the census, that can help all the youths and all the leaders in the communities and the city of Albuquerque. If you don't fill out the census, then the city and the state of New Mexico will not be getting that much funds. Census will be counting everyone, not only the people who are citizens. So it doesn't matter if you're citizen or not. And that's why it's important to fill the census for this year.
Hace un tiempo fue el deseo y hoy es la necesidad. Llegaré a la capital, ábreme los caminos para curar este mal. Amor que en mi pecho no tiene bandera. No tiene color, religión ni frontera. Amor que si vuelve le prende una vela. Negra te hablaré, ororo. Oh, negra te hablaré, ororo. Oh, negra te hablaré, ororo. Negra te amaré, ororo. Oh, negra te amaré, ororo. Oh, negra te amaré, ororo. Negra te amaré.
Thank you, Pancho, again. That music was relaxing and at the same time, a lot of examples. Associate Superintendent for Equity and Instruction, Miss Madeline Serna Marmol. Her interview is first in English and then in Spanish. How about that? Wonderful. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Dr. Madeline Serna Marmol, Associate Superintendent of Equity, Instruction, Innovation, and Support for the Albuquerque Public Schools. On behalf of APS, I am so excited to be part of the Latin Dance Census Party this evening with our Albuquerque community. We at APS understand the significant impact an accurate census count can have for our students, families, and communities. Critical education needs such as school lunches, preschool programs, children's health insurance, and special education are funded through census dollars. Census dollars go directly into the classroom by supporting teachers, libraries, music, and other fine arts programs, and census dollars help keep our school buildings running and well-maintained. Our APS community has been tirelessly working for over a year to make sure Burqueños and New Mexicans are well represented in the census. Our staff, teachers, and schools have partnered with our community organizations and others to make sure people know about the census and are filling out their census forms. The future is our children, and the census invests in our children. On behalf of our APS community, families, and students, I ask you to complete your census. I count, you count, we all count. Thank you. Hola, soy la doctora Madeline Serna Marmol, Superintendente Asociada por Equidad, Instrucción, Innovación y Apoyo en las Escuelas Públicas de Albuquerque. En nombre del distrito, soy muy orgullosa de ser parte de la fiesta de nuestra comunidad burqueño. En APS entendemos el impacto significante de contar todo el mundo en el censo porque es importante para nuestros estudiantes, familias y la comunidad. Necesidades críticas educativas como almuerzos escolares, programas preescolares, seguro de salud para nuestros niños y educación especial son apoyadas con fondos del censo. Los fondos del censo se van directamente a nuestras escuelas con programas y ayuda con nuestros edificios. Nuestra comunidad escolar ha trabajado con el censo por más de un año para asegurar que las personas viviendo en Albuquerque y Nuevo México están contados. Nuestros empleados, directores, maestros y escuelas han colaborado con nuestra comunidad para participar. Nuestro futuro son nuestros niños, hijos y estudiantes. De parte de APS y nuestra comunidad, yo cuento, tú cuentas, nosotros contamos. Gracias.
Ah, the census, my favorite time of the decade.
Census, what's that?
Oh, it is a special time when we count each person in every home in all the neighborhoods across the country. One monster of Sesame Street.
Oh, do kids count?
Of course, everyone in your home counts, especially little kids and babies. 1, 2 little kids.
But why do we count everyone?
Ah, great question. Counting everyone in your home helps support your neighborhood for the next 10 years by funding things like schools, hospitals, and buses. So count yourself and everyone in your home. In 10 minutes, you can complete the census by calling or going online, or return your form by mail.
It's easy, secure, and most important, it's totally private.
Make your family